Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Seint artist. We're gonna talk about redness. So full disclosure, I'm gonna talk a lot. It's gonna take me a while to get the makeup on my face. And this is not a demi tutorial, so please, though, if you love demi, I am showing a different technique and a different option. I'm not saying demi is wrong. This is just not a tutorial highlighting it. So respectfully, don't come at me. So I'm going to show you 3D colors that work with redness. So with redness, you've got your rosacea. You've got that pinky rosacea. I have a little bit coming through. You have that deep rosacea. You've got acne scarring. You've got acne. You have broken capillaries, redness around your nose. Sometimes people's noses are a little red. Everybody's different. Everybody's got something. And redness is a big factor in people. Their overall concern that I get, my number one concern is redness. They're not specific as to where, and sometimes I don't see it. So I give the option because what I see isn't important. It's what you see, especially after your makeup's on. All right, so here's my options. If you have problematic skin, especially on your cheeks, get yourself Frenchie. It's a great option. If your eyes are a little dark, pop it under your eyes before you're brightening. Put it on your cheeks so that you can use those beautiful, blush colors like sangria, saffron, pink lemonade, dahlia, baby watermelon. They're all the goodies, okay? All those good bright saffron, what is it, sandstone, those bright colors I struggled with using, but if I pop a little Frenchie over my problematic areas, no matter where they are on the cheek, I'm able to use them, and it doesn't pull that spot through, and I get a little polka dotty, and it's not cute. At least I don't think it's cute. Doesn't look like cute freckles, that's for sure. All right, so let's get into redness correcting here. That's these colors right here. So I've got Aspen. This is what I use. I have more of a pinkiness to my rosacea and my scarring. So I do use Aspen. I'm going to try to keep these names straight because there's days where I say the wrong thing. Then there's Walnut. Walnut is another contour. This is for if you have a darker skin tone like Sandy or Mango or Goddess. This is a great option for your rosacea. I've tried this so many times, guys. Okay. Now, let's say you have that really deep rosacea where it's almost a purpley pink and you put Aspen on and it turns it purple. It's because you need to return it. Okay, you have a 30-day return policy. Try it. Takes one time to know. And then exchange it for something like June. June is a highlight color with green undertones to it. I have a customer who loves this for her rosacea and it works wonders. And you just prep your skin with it. It's not a full face color. It is a rosacea correcting color. And then there's also Mango. Mango I put for a little extra coverage so I don't have a pound of makeup on. Okay, with my old traditional makeup, I would want to cover everything to my comfort level, but I had a lot of makeup on and my skin was suffering. It was dry, it was maturing faster, and it cracked. And at the end of the day, it didn't look good, especially in this area right here. And so I found Seint and I liked my makeup better at the end of the day. And then you have these wonderful options. Something will work for somebody. I do try to take into account this when I'm color matching you. This is why color matching is key. So let's get started. It's been 3.5 minutes. I'm going to get into my makeup. So here's what I'm going to show you. If you have, let's swatch, okay? Sorry, not getting into my face. We're going to swatch. This is June. And do you see how it has that green tone to it when it's on my skin? This is what's going to help you with that deep redness if you have that deep redness rosacea. At the end of this tutorial, I will have pictures of people who have different kinds of redness and what they use to correct it. So I do have that too coming for you, not just my beautiful face. Okay, and then you've got Walnut. I like Walnut because it's my summer shade. So I could use this instead of Mango if I want to, but it's just a nice neutral brown, and it will help if you have scarring, but you have a darker skin tone and you feel that Aspen turns you gray. Walnut is a great second option. All right, the next thing I'm gonna tell you to use is the blend brush. There are people who will ask about the shape brush with Demi. No, this is a great blush brush. It's a great setting powder applying brush, but I really only think the good thing it's good for is this end right here. This end is what takes it out of the game for me, is because I have this nice long fluffy end, works beautifully, but then on this end, this just gives you a little more control. It's still fluffy, it's just shorter, whereas this one's a little flimsy for correcting, and you really want this brush. So get the blend brush. If you have correcting issues, I will recommend this brush in your color match. So I use Aspen. So I'm gonna stamp into it. Now Aspen is a dense color, and that's why I feel like this works so well, is because this helps camouflage pores as well. But because it's dense, it stays where you put it, and then when you put your makeup on, it's gonna hold it. And that's what gives you the longevity out of your makeup. So I have this redness here, and I put it on, you will see, I stamp onto it, but it's not sticking together on my bristles. So I'm just gonna go over my redness. Look at how light that is, okay? If you feel that you put too much on, which can happen, take that fluffy end and blend it down and just go over the areas where you're red. You got redness right here. Smash that brush in just like that, takes care of it. No problemo, okay? Grabbing a little bit more, and again, this is a light application brush. This is a deeper red. I'm gonna go right over here and I'm just gonna go over this. Now lately, my scarring has been extra ragey. I don't quite understand. If you have a red nose, mine's a little pink, I just take whatever's left on the brush and I sweep it over. It's no problem. I've got a little breakout right here, grab a little Aspen, sweep it over. Aspen works really well and Mango works really well for me, but it just erases it. If I'm going essentially makeup free and I don't want to get demi, because demi's hard, especially when you have spots like I do and it's not an area, I have a hard time with it, and I have a hard time with it staying because I'm super oily. But I use Aspen and it works just great. So on this guy right here, I'm gonna take a little bit of Aspen, again, not sticking it together, and I'm gonna sweep over it. And you see that you can still see all these spots, but they're not red, okay? So I'm gonna take a little bit of Mango here and I'm gonna go over it. You wanna go over it with something dark, not light, because you're not gonna want to accentuate the texture. A pimple is raised and you can't erase the texture of it, but we can go over it with a darker color and that will help camouflage the texture with it. Now I'm gonna take this fluffy end and I'm gonna grab a little bit of Mango and I'm gonna sweep this over my acne scarring area, which is right in this area here. And I'm just giving myself a little extra coverage without adding a lot of makeup. And that's why I like using creams, is because you can spot to spot treat. And look at how nice my skin looks. It doesn't look crazy. It doesn't look like I have a whole pound of makeup on, because I don't. And with traditional makeup, your foundation goes all over your face. And then you're able to go in with your concealers and blend it out. And then you've got to set it and it's just stacking and stacking and stacking, but you can't place one at a time. All right, now we're gonna get into our foundation. Whoops, our foundation. I am going to switch to a different brush. I'm kind of wanting to use, okay, because I talk about Seint on my phone a lot and our phones listen to us, there is this cream makeup. I don't remember the name of it, but it has a brush really similar to this. So we're gonna try this brush because curious minds want to know, and it's just really my mind, and that's it. So I'm going to go into my main highlight, which is Athens. Oh, I love this new shade. Now, I firmly believe the only place you need a main highlight is this lower beard of your face. We all know where that is, and that's where I'm going to put it. So we're just going to start back here, because wherever you place your brush is where the bulk of your cream is going to go. I don't want the bulk of my cream in this area of my face, because I have smile lines, my nose has a crease, my mouth moves a lot, so you can over apply in this area and it can create caking. So I always start back here and then I bring it down, pull it down your jawline and then stipple. And if you have mature skin, give it a little stipple roll. It just gets it in with your skin so that it moves with your skin better. Look at how pretty that is. Isn't that a good match? You can match yourself. There is an option on my Linktree for you to match yourself. You don't have to send me that makeup free picture. I always just grab and pull here and then I start stamping and stippling and whatever you want to call it. People get really hung up, I think, on YouTube. Not everybody, but there are some people who get really hung up on terms. Now, Seint Artist, people will say, is a purchase title. Yes, it is. I didn't go to school for this, but you know what? I've been using this makeup for 3 years, and if I don't know other makeup, that's fine, but I know this makeup, so I'll take the artist because I play with this stuff all the time. Okay, this is a great brush. I'm not a big fan of this end, but I am really liking this end and the way that it applies. I like the flatness and it kind of has an angle. I like it. All right, When I'm blending in this area, I always stamp, especially over that correcting, because that aspen is gonna hold it there, but I'm able to place the makeup, and by stamping it, stippling it, it moves it where you wanna go and around. Press it into the nose, whatever's left, right there, that's it. Okay, we're gonna get into our brightening. I'm using white peach lately. For size, my favorite. I think that my skin's been a little extra mature, and those lighter colors can sometimes accentuate these guys. So I'm gonna go between the brows, bottom, middle, forehead area, and I'm gonna fan this out. That's as far. First line, well, second line. My forehead is where I'm gonna bring it to. And I'm stamping because I have that pimple right there. And again, I think blending this out with a stamping method is the best. So I'm gonna grab a little more. We're gonna hit our Cupid's bow, because all we're doing right here is recreating reflected light. The sun shines off, shines off, shines off. It's also gonna shine off here. So I'm adding my brightening in these areas to give me dimension, and it's going to be an evened out skin tone with dimension, which you can't get with a lot of makeups in one even layer. All right, I'm gonna go to my contour, which is olive. Olive is a pretty strategic color for me, okay? It's a great neutralizing color. It doesn't have red undertones the way that indigo does. And so I like using this, but I don't like the cool tones. I'm not a cool tone girl. And this is more of a warm tone contour. If you want one similar that's more cool tone, get ash. So this is olive, look at that. Look at that. I don't even know if I want a bronze today. I always start on either side of my forehead where your dimension is key. This is where your skull really shows its dimension. So we're just gonna swirl that in and then bridge it over here and swirl it in and then pull it down towards the temple. And then we're going to just kind of pull. I'm using this side, you can see how I've pressed onto it. I'm grabbing that brightening and pulling it into the contour. And that's why I didn't need to take that main highlight to the top. A lot of us, our forehead is very different color than the lower part of our face. So let's apply our makeup like it is. So using a brightening, using a contour, letting them meet is key. And then you're not applying more makeup than is necessary. I have a little pimple here. I'm gonna grab a little bit of my main highlight over my pimple, just like that. I'm gonna take this and just stamp. All right, I'm gonna grab a little more of my contour, and I'm pushing on on half of my brush. You can see it right there, yay. Okay, we have our natural shadow, and we're gonna bring it up. Now, if you do any correcting on your face, this application is going to be your best friend. This is the powder brush, by the way. I don't know if I said that, but putting it on half of the brush, and you're gonna come above that natural shadow, and you're gonna press on that lower part of your cheekbone. I hang mine pretty far back because as you mature, you lose the volume in the apples of your cheeks. So bringing that contour down could possibly accentuate the fact that when my face is resting, that is not a real shadow. And so I just hang it back here, and the blush is gonna take care of the rest, just like that. But I underblend this because my bronzer, my blush is going to blend it down more, and I don't wanna blend it away. Okay, I'm gonna use my ring fingers, and we're gonna press this in, boop, boop, boop. We're gonna pick it up. And I always just draw 2 lines on this top portion of my nose, and then I just pull it down, and then whatever's left, I just square off onto the tip. And this is how I like to contour my nose. It looks nice, doesn't it? And then we're gonna stamp it, and we're gonna pull it up towards our brows. You see how this just goes towards the brow, follows, see it stops, follows. You can see that. And it just, you can restructure whatever you want on your face with a little bit of shadowing. So we're gonna stamp this, and then here's my trick. Bridge this together right here. If you have a bumpy nose, if you have a crooked nose, draw your contour lines and blend it all together, just like that. And then you can take your finger, let's use our pinky, grab your brightening. We're gonna grab a little more. Grab your brightening and draw a straight line. And that's it. That's how you straighten your nose. So easy, right? Yes. Okay, we're gonna go in again, grabbing some more, and I'm gonna go in front of my earlobe and down. I will end up switching to a different brush in a little bit because I'm not gonna bronze my neck with this brush. It's too dense. The denser the brush, the fuller the coverage. I need a fluffy brush for my neck. Okay, I'm kind of going to switch brushes now. I'm going to go back to my blush and bronzer, Ride or Die, favorite brush. Comes in a collection with your bronzer, so do it. Okay, we're going to go into bronzer. This is Bella bronzer right here. And I'm going to go, you see my contour here? We're going to go above it. Okay, grabbing it, and I'm going to go right over here. Now, this is where the sun hits your face when you're in your car, when you're sitting out in the sun, wearing your sunglasses, hits up here. So you want to warm that area up, and then just drape it around your eye like that. Look at how pretty that is. And it just warms things up. It doesn't need to be crazy. Your bronzer this is the only real place, other than, of course, I guess your neck, that you really need bronzer. It will last you over a year. You will not be reapplying. Taking the fluffy end, grabbing some of that. And I'm going to go right here. My neck, I don't know if I just stick my chin out a lot, but my neck never tans. And so I'm just adding bronzer to bridge my neck to my face because it's always a different color. Bringing it up. I can't hear my dog barking. Okay, we're going to do our under eyes. We're going to go back to the blend brush. Light application is key with your under eyes. So we're going to get into White Peach, small end, grabbing it. And we're going to go under this trough. I have a broken capillary right here. I didn't correct it with Aspen. I feel that White Peach has a bit of a corrector in it, the touch of a corrector, and it takes care of it, no problem. And I start under the trough, and then I bring it up to the inner corner, and then follow that orbital bone up. And then I bring it up to what I call the hammock of your under eye. You've got your orbital bone, your eyeball, and then that skin in between is just hanging loose. So it's soft tissue. You could be 12 years old and you can texturize your under eye with too much makeup. But look at how youthful that looks of just a little bit. When I do this, I mean a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. It's not clumped together under the under eye. You can always add more. It's a little harder to blend down. Again, tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to go right out here. And I just really try to hang out on my orbital bone. That's where the tough part is, okay? Then you can bring it up with such a light application. And it's so good. So good. Okay, let's talk about that scarring. Look at how well, and I mean, that's a good finish, okay? Let's do our lips because I want to. I'm going to grab my contour right here. I get cold sores. And when I'm sick, when I'm stressed, and I'm always stressed, always stressed. I'm not a pleaser, but I don't like to let people down, and I have a hard time telling people no, especially if I care about them, and so I'm stressed all the time. So we're just gonna shadow this in. If you have scarring and your cold sores have ever bumped off your lip and you have that scarring, use your contour around your lip because it'll help camouflage that. I'm gonna grab a little bit of brightening right here. Give myself a little powdered donut right here. Took too big of a bite, right? Okay, don't we all with donuts? Okay, so we're just gonna tap this out. This creates a contrast, a light to dark contrast, and then having that contour on the middle part makes the pout. I'm gonna grab a multitasker brush right here, and we're gonna go to my favorite lip liner, Renaissance. It's super dense. Super dense. People say it feels dry. That's the perfect lip liner because your lipsticks won't bleed out. It creates a really good barrier unless, well, I have straw lines, and this creates such a pretty barrier, and it's so pretty. If you like my MAC half red looks, get yourself Renaissance and put it in your palette. And if you like a really bold grungy lip, get yourself Renaissance. I was unsure about it when I first saw it. I love it. I like it a lot. Okay. I hate lining my lips in front of you guys. Okay. Pretty, right? Like it's just this really deep mauve. I love it. All right, I am gonna grab Maui. Get yourself Renaissance and Maui. They are seriously the perfect combo. It's a gloss and it has little gold flecks. Mix of that Renaissance. Chef's kiss. I love this color. Look at that. It's so good. Okay. Getting into redness. Okay, I have my spots that I'm always worried about shining through. So I'm going to take Frenchie and I'm going to pop, pop, pop that on the apple. So put it wherever on your cheeks, where your blush is. See this whole little hot dog on my cheek? If wherever your scarring is, place Frenchie on it where your blush will go. If your blush is down here, you don't need Frenchie, like it's not going down there, but I say smile so you can see where it is, and place that Frenchie on top. And then you can go into a bright color. Let's find a better lip and cheek. Shall we? Let's go into, what do I want? Ooh, I've been loving this one. This is, hold on, pink grapefruit. Grabbing the blush and bronzer. We're going into it. We're gonna pop this up here. Hi.
Hi.
And the way that
sprayed me.
Okay, I'm doing my makeup. Can you guys give me just a minute, please?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can I
Shut the door.
have a cutted apple?
I will in just a minute.
No, Daddy will.
Okay.
Love you, Mom.
I love you too. Shut the door. Shut the door. Shut the door. Shut the door. Hey. Okay, so I always hang the bright color back here. Not shut. And then where my Frenchie is, I'll bring it down to it. That's where mine is. And then take a fluffy brush,
Mama.
and you just blend it out. My goodness, yeah.
You opened it.
Okay, and now let's get to the other cheek. All right, so there it is. I like a punchy cheek, but look, my scarring is not pulling through. All right, so grabbing it again, grab, 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 put it on the brush, start back here, and then you're going to bring it down to that Frenchie. And it just works as this really pretty barrier. And this fluffy end is great if you put too much on, which I always do. And then it blends it down. So nice. But it doesn't pull the scarring through. Now, when you're blending it like this, stamp it. Okay? Now we're gonna go in and we're going to do powder. I have oily skin. And so with that, I always border on dewy versus greasy. I don't use illuminators because I'm oily and I'm dewy enough. I don't need to add a sparkle to it. I don't. So here is vanilla dust. We're gonna take this fluffy brush and we're gonna push onto it and put it on. Shake it off if you want. This is your best friend with powder. Apply your powder out here first and then bring it in. Even if you think it's gone, it is not. But this is the best way I have found. Powder is always going to change the consistency of your makeup. It's a powder going into a foundation, a liquid foundation, whatever this is. It's cream. It's going to change the consistency a bit. So grab it and put it on the outside. This is where people don't see. And then bring it in. I don't recommend powder under the eyes, but if you're going to, wait till you think your brush is empty. If you've ever played with glitter or you've ever played with black eyeshadow, you know it's never gone. And so just doing that is key. Grab a setting spray. I'm using Urban Decay because, again, oily. Spray it around. Get your face nice and damp. Did I have a lid to that somewhere? Grab that fluffy brush. Press your setting spray in with it. Oh, I love this blush color so much. Okay, that's it. That's Redness. Now I'm going to show pictures of other girls who have Redness and what they used. So enjoy. Have a great day.